Kasham.
Dag.
Sana Dayola? Oh, shoot me around. May pick him bar.
Oh, that is. Imka Floof? Marina. Volushoka. Nishe. Chisu. Breeze Dosh. Moves. Senor. Wanu.
Hey!
Kolosh. Frespa.
Sul, hello, and labas. Welcome to another episode of the Payne Family Ultimate Decades Challenge. The year's 1377, it's day 3, and I think that it's actually Tuesday in game, and we're here outside of a new lot, which is in fact the Main family's new home lot. So, in terms of what's happened, I had wanted to move lots for a while. The last one was way too big, and it was really overwhelming to me to try and play in. The business just wasn't going as well as I'd hoped, and everything just kind of wasn't quite right. And so a lot of people in the comments suggested a lot of different possible fixes for that, and a lot of us also talked about moving just to a smaller lot so that it felt a little bit more manageable. So here we are. However, as is my way, I couldn't just let it be a nice, easy move. I had to introduce some roles that had positives or negatives, of course, in order to kind of make it make sense. At this point in time in history, people of the lower classes obviously needed to get permission from their lords or from the nobles who were above them in order to be able to move. So I came up with a series of rules for that on a d6. As you saw at the beginning, things didn't go well with that roll. So of the d6, there were 4 different options, 3 of which were not that bad. Like 1 and 4 meant that there was a loss of protection or patronage, which just would have meant that we would lose a little bit of relationship with him. But in the future, maybe he wouldn't take our side as much because he'd be wondering why we turned down his land. 2 would have been seen as defiance or threat, and in that case, we would have lost our business license because that's a privilege that he granted to us. So he would have just taken that away. 3 or 6, though, would have meant no consequence because generally English lords were fairly fair to the people who worked underneath them. John of Gaunt was considered well liked by the people he sort of lorded over, and it would have been more likely that he would have maybe been confused, but not reacted negatively. Unfortunately, we got 5, which means that we were punished as a response. Oh, come on. I thought for sure because it was already on 5 that there was no way. Oh my goodness. Dang it. I only added in the option for number 5 because if you look back at the Payne history, of course, Gree spied for the king, and as a result, it took some time, but she became a noble. And I thought that John of Gaunt might be a little bit suspicious at this point. You know, our son went away on pilgrimage, but he's now gotten word that he has somehow become a noble in France. And he might be thinking to himself, you know, the Paynes did this once where they worked for the king to become a noble. What's to say that they aren't doing that again, but on the side of the French? And I think that he might be quite suspicious about that in particular, and that could be why he reacted that way. It kind of made sense to me that that would be an option at least. But these guys are up. So what that means is that we lost. I'm just going to replace this. I don't have time for this right now. What that means is that we lost the cost of our previous holding, including the building materials. We had to pay for everything out of pocket. And now John of Gaunt is pretty suspicious of us. And it's going to take some time for us to earn back his loyalty or earn back his trust. He may not trust us for the foreseeable future. And that can cause a lot of big complications because he obviously is literally the gatekeeper for any of our opportunities that we could possibly have. So it could be a little bit hairy there for a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. Oh yeah, when I moved in, our chickens were wrong. We had 8 chickens before. We now only have 3, and one of them is a golden hen. I don't know what to do about that. So you guys have to let me know what you think we should do about it in the comment section below, because I feel like, I mean, we ended up with one. However, it does feel a bit shady to have a golden hen, but I'll go ahead and show you guys around here. Hopefully these guys can take care of themselves is my hope. Oh, Beatrix, no, don't eat the boiled eggs. Beatrix. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you guys around, and hopefully these guys will take care of everything while we're away. So this is the outside. Over here, this is one of the Home Chef Hustle stalls. I've already tested it and people can buy from this. Those are all debug items to try and hide the fact that it doesn't look very historically accurate. But this is where we can sell like our extra food to make more money because we weren't really making any money from sales at the business. But over here is still the tavern, and I've tested it out, and you can run both the tavern and the Home Chef Hustle table at the same time, at least on my playtests. And so one of them will work as the bartender, one of them will work selling food. And in the playtest, it was really cute because Sims would come over here and they would eat at the tables. And I figure we can still have a little games table. It's just that we no longer have, you know, the place for people to stay over. Over here is a much smaller pond. We do have the cow shed. We have the chickens. We still have the mill with an outdoor toilet, but it's quite a lot smaller. In here is the main living space. Kind of. This is the downstairs sitting area where the family can hang out. We've still got our study over there. And then we have the kitchen and dining room over here. I think Beatrix might be sick, poor girl. Which we'll talk about the pilgrims in a minute. And then if you go this way, this is kind of the storage space for the little shop. And then over here, this is the backside of the bar and the Home Chef Hustle table. Then over here, we have a little skill building area. It's the nectar maker, woodworking station, and a flower arranging table. That is from Luella. We've had it ever since Luella. We got it for her. Nobody's really ever used it, but we've got it. Over here is an upstairs sort of play area for the kids. In here is the toddler and infant room, although we won't be having any of those for a while. And then everybody has got a bathroom sort of attached. So these guys, this is the kids' main room. They've got a little toilet here, and then the parents have a little toilet here. We've got a bathtub, a toilet and shower, and that's pretty much everything. So yep, there you have it. Edgar, do you want to put your daughter down? So as you learned at the beginning, Edmund is not making it back. He and Harold are away actually getting his inheritance. So if you remember, Edmund is in fact the child of Amelie and Edgar. Amelie was chased off of her land. She had a massive estate. She was the final inheritor of it. And she was chased off by that bad man who was after her, who was obsessed with her. And so she lost her estate. But at some point, Aunt Beatrix, she found out that she could get the estate back for Edmund. And she approached him and said, hey, you actually are of noble blood here in France, and we're going to work to get your estate back and your inheritance back. And get your inheritance back, I should say, not inheritance. So she picked him up, she went and talked to him, and they are over there sort of dealing with that. Shh, rooster. A golden egg? Well, if we've got it, in the meantime, I'm going to keep them. Nobody can stop me. I mean, you guys tell me if you think we should keep them or not, but I say, let's go ahead and put it in there for sales, you know? At the end of this video, I'll put up the pilgrimage rolls so that you guys can see them, can see how they all played out. But when When Edmund rolled to get that economic opportunity, for a minute there, I was like, "Well, what the heck? Like, what are we gonna do?" But then I thought about it, and it really does make sense that he would have the chance to go back and get his familial inheritance. A lot of people had suggested that ages ago that he should have the opportunity to go back and claim the land that was taken from his mother, or that somebody at least should be able to have that opportunity. And so we went ahead and decided to go ahead with that in the end. So, well, I decided to go ahead with that in the end. So while these guys are sort of like getting all set up and stuff, what I thought we could do is we could talk about some of the notable historical stuff that's happening in the background. Can you make a sweater? Because it feels like in 1377, 1378, 1380, 1381, a lot of stuff starts to kick off. Like it's no longer just a willy nilly, easy peasy sort of situation. It feels like a lot of things, it was pretty quiet there for a couple of years. And it feels like, Esmond, please, my friend, go and, I don't know, practice hopscotch or something. Actually, what do you need? You need creativity level next one. Then go up here and, I don't know, make holiday crafts, gardening, sure. So in terms of the historical stuff that's going on, it feels like for the past couple of years, it was really quiet in terms of notable historical events. But in 1377, it feels like it starts to kick off kind of across all of Europe. There's a lot of contributing factors to that, which we'll talk about in the next couple of years. But in terms of what's happening with the English royal family, this year things have kind of gone off of the rails because Edward III, who is the king, has been having an affair and he's really caught up with his affair. So he isn't very interested in running the country at this point in time. They also have massive debt from the ongoing war efforts. Like the English royal family is big time in debt. Edward the Black Prince has been super duper sick for years at this point, and he actually died in 1376. The country at this point as well is ripe with corruption. People are selling licenses to avoid taxes. People are skimming money from the wool trade, which is one of the biggest ways the royal family makes money. The French were raiding English coastal cities, which the English were not terribly successful at defending against, and they were causing a lot of big issues. Edward the King is also at this point getting noticeably closer to death, and the boy who is going to inherit the throne is only 9 years old. It's a boy named Richard. John of Gaunt, who is our family's current lord, he, from what I've seen and read, did not want to get involved with all of this, but he really loved his brother, the Black Prince. It looks like he was super close with him, and he seems to have wanted to pave the way for his nephew to inherit a throne that wasn't just falling to pieces around him. So he did a number of things. Is that the welcome wagon? Oh, John of Gaunt, hello. I guess we better go and invite him in. So yeah, you can see our relationship with John of Gaunt has really gone down. It's really deteriorated. Are you here as part of our welcome wagon? Well, you can go and invite the neighbors in. Do you know Avalon? You should. Yeah, he does. Beatrix is just over there doing that. What are you up to, kiddo? Go ahead and put that in your inventory. And I don't know, can you just like manage yourself for a moment? Like, I can't manage you, friendo. Evelyn, oh, Isla Mackey came over. Hello. Selma, do you want to say, I mean, you can compliment her outfit. You can invite her in as well if you want to. And thank her for coming. Where's Kieran? Kieran? Oh no, I don't know why these are the Sims who showed up and not other ones. So back to the point, John of Gaunt, who actually just happened to pop by and announced, hello, John, nice to meet you again. I wonder how they're going to interact with each other. And I don't know why he suddenly got the breakneck situation as well. Oh, bye. Oh, Edgar, you've really gone and done it now. We really don't want to be mistrusted by our lord, but what can we do? What can we do? So John of Gaunt tried to fix some of the issues that the country was facing. He removed Edward the King's mistress from him in an attempt to sort of get him to focus back on the things that mattered. He listened to the commons' complaints and gave them everything he could to sort of appease them. This later massively backfired, though, because he eventually took back what he'd given to them in order to return power to his family. Oh gosh, that's the not good sweater. He removed several officials from the parliament, and of course, as we know, he introduced the poll tax, which was for every individual above 14 years of age. As you might guess, he was not popular because of these things. In making all of these moves, he fell out with almost all of the oligarchs in London, many of whom his family owed money to. He also supported a guy named John Wycliffe. John Wycliffe was somebody who is actually sometimes called the father of the Reformation. He wanted the church to give up its possessions and return to poverty. Later on, he actually completed the first full translation of the Bible into English. As you might guess from all of those things, the church wasn't very thrilled at the idea of returning to poverty. And so that, because John of Gaunt was sort of on his side, that led to the Bishop of London falling out with John of Gaunt as well. In 1377, John Wycliffe was actually at the height of his influence over the upper classes. He was consulted by the king and by Parliament over whether it was lawful to keep treasure and money of the English kingdom from Rome because they were supposed to give it to Rome to the Pope. Wycliffe said that it was. Obviously, that also led to the Pope being unhappy with him, even though it was what the crown wanted to hear. And Wycliffe will become an important figure later, but for now, that's enough about him because mostly we're talking about John of Gaunt right now and the noble family, the royal family. So again, John of Gaunt, he's there. He's falling out with pretty much everyone around him, the wealthy in London, the powerful church, and now when he introduces the poll taxes, he basically became fairly hated by the common people as well, even though, like I mentioned earlier, he was pretty well liked by people in the lands that he ruled over. In June of 1377, Edward the King also passed away, and Richard, who was at that point 10 years old, inherited the throne. Because he was only 10 years old, he was too young to rule the kingdom, and so a series of regency councils guided him. John of Gaunt was not selected to be regent because others were suspicious of him and they didn't like him for the aforementioned reasons. However, John of Gaunt had been very, very close to his brother, the Black Prince, and he still played a pretty major role in Richard's life. But that's about where we'll leave the historical things for today because I don't know when this happened, but man, oh man, if we did not sort of like fly through this day, you know? Yeah, I don't really know where today went, Beatrix. Can you go pee, apply some facial cleanser? Why is you're super sick, dude. Get some water and then go ahead and take like a power nap. I'm thinking about going out with her today. I feel like it's time for her to start thinking about her own future. In terms of where they are actually living in the old Hagen property, you know, where that dilapidated and cursed home was. It's this lot over here, but the Mackeys live right there, so hopefully the curse doesn't continue, but it was the smallest available lot that I had that I wasn't going to be using anytime soon. So I decided that was where we were going. I mean, smallest, but also most reasonably sized one. Oh, buddy. Oh, Kieran, where are you? Hello, Kieran? Dang it. He's around here somewhere, but I haven't seen the guy. I haven't seen him at all since we've been here. Well, thanks for dropping by, everyone. It was nice of you to come and welcome us to the neighborhood. And take all of our milk. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Can you please instead go and also get some water and also take a nap because you and your sister are sickos. As for you, I don't know why you won't assign this bed to yourself. You refuse to. But you can go ahead and do a skillful sleep, and you are not tired at all. So, big, big changes for our family, big, big changes for the royal family. pretty big changes for everyone in general. And so I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. But these guys are doing fine. They did have to pay quite a chunk of money. I think that because of the cost of the other lot, I had to subtract that from their money when they left. I'll put it on the screen now. It was a lot of money. We did have quite a bit more before, and I did go ahead and do a quick check to see what would happen if we, ended up having to pay the highest tallage that we might possibly get. We do not have enough money for it, and I don't know how we would ever get enough money for it before the time came that we would have to pay the tallage at. So it is kind of a big problem for us, and I don't know what we're going to do except for just hope that the tallage isn't as bad as I'm worried it will be. I know, it's filthy in here. Go ahead and clean it up. And also, I told you to retrieve the compost earlier. But in the morning, we're going to be back at Pirate Land because some big things have happened there too. So I will see you in the morning when we get there. Here we are with the Christiansens. Canul has returned. He has returned home safe and sound. He has returned home with another friend, which is Graham Smith. He actually bumped into Graham. As you may remember, Graham survived the last part of the 100 Years' War. However, there was a big issue in that he didn't escape capture. He was captured. He actually, I don't know if I've been able to find the roles. If I have, I'll put them up here. The church ended up paying for his release from capture, and then they put him to work and they said he had to work off his debt. He'd just finished paying off his debt to the church in France and he was released. He had no idea about how he was going to get back to England. When Canul showed up, Canul and his pirate band were passing by and stopping off at a port that Graham happened to be trying to find some passage in. They got to talking, and Canul couldn't help but wonder if this might be Bess's dad, so he brought him along, and sure enough, it is. But as you can see, Graham is changed. Graham is changed. We'll talk about that in a minute, but for now, it's Frida's birthday, and she is bubbling. But for now, Frida, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. So Graham is going to stay with them for a little while. I don't think he's going to stay here for forever. He's going to instead want to go back and see his other children, of course. But he is here for now and probably for the next year. So Frida was wild and she's now a music lover. Interesting, very interesting. Let us get her in cast and see if she's gonna make it. To become a child successfully, Frida must avoid rolling the numbers 3, 9, and 19. Okay, good. My goodness, this place is absolute chaos. I suppose that's to be expected when there are 3 toddlers, I guess 1 child now. But so in terms of how Graham became a werewolf, it's kind of a long story, but basically it boils down to the fact that every time that I have a sim go off to war, I actually will usually send them to go and I know that this is crazy, but go ahead and woohoo with Canul. It's insanity. I don't know why I'm doing it to myself, but go ahead and do it. This child is going absolutely insane. He's just out there throwing a fit. So when the Sims go off to war, I usually have 1 full set of them go into the tunnels and Moonwood Mill. I feel like what it represents is the idea that sometimes when people go to war, they come back and they're different, they're changed. And Graham got bitten the last time that he went. I had kind of thought if I didn't go back into the household that it wouldn't actually go ahead and he wouldn't transform. But sure enough, he is now a werewolf. And that happened before Bess found out that Canul was a dormant werewolf. So now in this family, somehow Graham is a werewolf, Rune is a full-blooded werewolf, Liv is a full-blooded werewolf. Was somebody calling? I thought somebody was. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. My goodness, you have a lot of things in your inventory. Oh, I've got some Sims I've got to take to the family gravesite. We need a broom. I couldn't help but notice that nobody has one. I think that I gave it to Danica. Danica has left. She felt like her relationship with Albert wasn't really going anywhere, and she didn't really feel like there was much point in continuing on with it. So she ended up just going on her own way, deciding to live her own life, do her own thing. And so that's kind of what happened there. Now there's a ton of werewolves all over the place, just scattered about in this family. I don't know why. I just know that's what the situation is. And these guys are going along, although they've got a lot of emotions. They've got a lot of emotions. So this is a pretty chaotic household. And I don't really know what the future holds for them. But everybody has survived their recent birthdays, which is really nice. So all in all, everything's going pretty well here. I'll go ahead and put the pirate rolls here for the last excursion so that you can see them. So for the pirates, we're going to roll a d10 to see how many thousands and millions. 1,000 is their loot. My goodness. Okay. Split between the 6 Sims. Might as well call it nothing. 1,000 simoleons split across all of them. Okay. That's rough, but okay. That's how life goes. So for the small fortunes and hardships, what is the small result? Number 13. Favoring winds. Oh, the winds are with them, pushing them to safely along, and so they get to return home a day earlier, which is fantastic. And what about the big one? The big one, number 17. Oh no. We end up embroiled in a battle with another ship that actually has early gunpowder weapons. And so we have to use a roll to see what happens. Oh no, we have to roll a d6. Oh no, this is bad. The letter of the mark hasn't protected us. Okay, so we have to roll a d6 where the numbers 1 to 2 means that we lose men, which we would then have to randomize who. 3 to 4 means that we would lose our pitiful earnings, and 5 to 6 means that we would lose the ship itself, which is troublesome. Okay. Oh, thank God. We got so lucky. We just lost money. Just money. I can lose the money. It wasn't very much anyways. 1,000 simoleons. I did not want to lose like Albert or Gunther or God forbid Knul. Can you imagine? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, that's fine. We lost our money. I'll take it. I think that's a win. I'll take it. Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. Let's agree to never do that again. Can you guys believe that Graham is an elder? Like, I can't honestly believe it. It's so crazy, but it's, I guess, good enough. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. So hopefully these kids all grow up pretty okay. They've got a while left on their toddlerhood, which I guess, okay, whatever. She wants to play an instrument, so we might have to get one for her. I actually thought that I had bought a violin and put it somewhere for these guys because I had a feeling they would have a child who was going to be creative since, you know, that's typically the one that I do the most, but I guess maybe not. No, do not be permissive, Knul. Although I think he would. His son has been really difficult to deal with. He's denied everything. So I don't know. Maybe he feels angry that his dad has been away. Oh, fair enough. You're sick. Oh no. So yeah, those are the big things here is that the pirate rolls didn't go great, but at least they didn't go terribly either. Oh my goodness. They were able to get Graham back, which is of course really nice. Graham will eventually go home and catch up with his sons and see how how Cade is going with the blacksmithing business and see how his legacy is going. But for now, he's pretty happy to be here with Bess and Knul. I think he'll stay maybe for 2 years. And that way he can help Bess with the children when Knul goes back out again to go pirating. But on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave these guys here. Not live over there just gnawing away at her toy. Oh my goodness. In the background of this half year, the things that have happened are that both Ramunis Miscanus and John Blount became teenagers successfully. Both rolled to get married. Ramunis rolled to have 9 baby tries. John rolled to have 7, which is really good. James Greystroke, who just got back from pilgrimage, also survived his young adult birthday. I just saw Bess ask Canul to woohoo again. They are relentless. No wonder they have so many children. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So yeah, James Greystroke, who just came back from pilgrimage, he brought back a woman that he'd fallen in love with on pilgrimage, and they are married now, which is very exciting. Edwin Jacobson had his elder birthday. He was successful, but it's so crazy. He's now an elder as well. Oh gosh. So for the pilgrimage rolls, the first day they just got to stay at an inn, so nothing happened, obviously. So for the second day, number 16, because pilgrimage was seen as honorable, it can get you some respect with the people that you live with or the people in your community. So upon their return, whichever Sims it is who end up being the ones who get this will be more interesting to other Sims, will be seen as more honorable. It could help their marriage prospects or even their job prospects. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for day 2. What about for day 3? 11. Oh my god. They get lost on day 3, and that means that they have to add an extra half year to their journey. So they now are going to be away for an extra 2 sim days, making their total journey 10 sim days. Oh, yikes. What about day 4? Number 12. Oh, that's such a good one. Knowledge exchange. They meet other pilgrims along the way or other travelers, and they get to add +3 to a new skill and bring back 5 seeds for things that are not time period appropriate. In my heart of hearts, what I want are potato seeds for the main family, because so many of the recipes for the hunting and foraging mod require potatoes. And since we can't grow them and I don't buy them from the shop, there's so many recipes we can never make. So I think that I'm going to go for potatoes, but let me know if you have a different idea. What about day 5? Number 14. Excellent. We meet some more new pilgrims as we're traveling, and we get to make some new friends. Nice. What about day 6? Number 9. Oh, healing. We visit a healing shrine, and 1 or 2 of the Sims get to either remove a negative trait and replace it with a positive one, or remove an injury if they have one, but none of them have an injury, I don't think. But some of them do have negative character traits, so that's pretty handy. What about day 7? Number 16. We've already got that, so I'm going to roll that one again, just because I want to. So what about day 7 again? Number 18. Ah, oh my gosh, we're having a really good run. Charitable acts. Some locals or the clergy in an area as we're staying go out of their way to help us. They give us a nice big meal, and they give us a few spare coins to help us on our journey. Oh my gosh. I did one trial of this before, and it was in the one with the bad audio, and basically everybody died by the end of it. So this is going a lot better than I had hoped, to be honest. What about day 8? Number 5, economic opportunities. Ooh, this is kind of a tough one. So sometimes pilgrims would trade goods or find work abroad. In the case of this, what I've elected to interpret it as is to basically roll to see which sim will stay behind on the return journey. And they may stay in one of the places that they've stopped over at on their pilgrimage for a few years, or they might stay for forever, depending on how things go there. What about day 9? Ah, hospitality from strangers. We get to stay with a local family and we make new good friends. This is a really nice one. And day 10, number 7, personal growth. We get to add 3 skill points to each of the Sims. Oh, that's so nice. What a nice run. Nobody even died. Not a single one. We didn't even have to do the bad winter rolls. That's really good. We just got super duper lucky with this. Okay, what I'm gonna do to decide who it is who stays behind is I'm gonna roll. I don't want 4 of them to stay behind, but that's the smallest dice we've got. I'm gonna roll on a d4 and see how many of them are staying. But I don't want 4 to stay. Okay, 2. 2 is a decent number. I kind of think that that's fair. And then we've got to see who will it be? Who will it be? So all of the Sims are on the board who are pilgrims. We're going to shuffle 1, 2, 3 times. And we're going to see which 2 pilgrims are staying behind at some point for better economic opportunities. Oh, Harold, no. Okay, Harold's going to be staying behind. I guess it makes sense. He doesn't have much to inherit, and I guess it makes sense. Okay. And who? Who is the other? Oh! Oh! Our heir? Oh my gosh. You know what, though? In a way, this actually isn't a bad thing because we already were on the fence about the idea of should we let him go off and be happy out in the world on his own with his soulmate. And something else I've been thinking about actually is, you know, Amelie came from wealth. She had an estate. She had a holdings. She had money and she was run off of it because of that guy. But it is possible that Edmund might be able to go back and claim that, which would make that an economic opportunity. So maybe somewhere along the way, I don't know, like he met somebody. Okay, interesting. I'm not against it. It is a little bit shocking, but he was probably going to go off to be happy anyways. Wow, our heir, though. It's a bold move. It's a bold move, especially because Harold is now away her economic opportunity, too. He's our spare. If anything happened to Esmond, Harold is our backup. Okay, and then just like before, how many Sims get renown when they come back? 3. I'll take it. So we have our remaining Sims here. Who's the first one to get renown or better romantic opportunities or whatever when they come back? Oh gosh, Cade? He doesn't even need it. He's the Sim who doesn't need it. Okay, Cade's 1. Who's the second who gets respect? Marion, I'm happy for her for that. She deserves it. She's a great Sim. I love her. Love her mom. Love her. Fantastic. And the last one. And James. The Greystrokes are coming back like, ooh. It's a shame that Beatrix didn't get anything, but what can you do? Okay, well, that's not bad. I'm not mad at it, you know? I'm not mad at it at all. I think that's great. But anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this part. As always, let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.